Hey there, I trust that you're having a very beautiful day today. And as usual, I have something really special for you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 6 fully funded scholarship opportunities for Nigerians. There are opportunities for master's level study and in some cases even higher than master's level. They are fully funded in countries outside of Nigeria, and there are opportunities that Nigerians can apply for. Obviously, there are also opportunities that people from some other nationalities can apply for as well. So if you're not a Nigerian, you might wish to watch this video. But that said, my focus is Nigerians. So I'm talking about this from the perspective of a Nigerian. So stick around and you're going to get to know 6 opportunities that you should apply for. And in fact, at the end of the video, I will add 2 bonus scholarship opportunities, making a total of 8. Before I go into that video, have you subscribed to my channel? If you've not subscribed, you're missing a whole lot. I have a repository of videos of content about education, content about how you can become a better person, content about entrepreneurship, and things like that. Basically, I'm a catalyst for the discovery and development of your creative potential. So I want you to be the best that you can be. And if you follow my channel, you're going to keep getting more and more information about how you can become that better person. So click on that subscribe button right now, and I'll be back after this timeout. So let's get started right away. The first one that I want to talk about is the Chevening Scholarships. Chevening Scholarships are very prestigious. They are scholarships that are from the government of the United Kingdom. The benefits of getting this scholarship include the cost of tuition, you get a stipend, and of course you belong to the Chevening network, which, like I said, is very prestigious because it is a network of past scholars and it is a network that has the backing of the UK government. Before you apply for this though, I think that it is important to state a few things. Number one is the Chevening scholarships are not really targeted at people who want to bring their families over to the UK. So the scholarship doesn't cater for you to bring your family with you to the UK. Number two, the scholarships require that you go back to your country for 2 years after the completion of your studies. What that means is if you're thinking of using Chevening scholarships as an avenue to Japa, to relocate, to travel out of Nigeria and just stay in the UK, well, the Chevening scholarships are not the option for that. They are not the right option for that. So please note those 2 very important conditions. I think that it is also very important to note that to apply for a Chevening scholarship, you need to first secure admission. So you would be required to apply for admission from 3 universities in the UK or to 3 courses in the same university in the UK. Either way, the idea really is for you to secure admission, and then you can also then get the scholarship. Getting admission, of course, doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the scholarship, but there are 2 different processes. You have to apply for each of them separately. And I should also say that one of the common misconceptions about the Chevening scholarships is that it is targeted at only the most brilliant people. Well, that's not exactly true, and you'd find that out with many of the other scholarships as well. It's not exactly true. For the Chevening scholarships, if you can secure admission, then you have a shot at getting the scholarships. I know people who got it with second class lower degrees. So it's not a must that you must have obtained second class upper or a first class before you get a Chevening scholarship. As a matter of fact, things like your statements, your mission statements, who you are as a person, how well you're able to sell yourself and sell your story, those are more important factors. The main thing is get admission, and so while you're applying, you might want to look for universities that are able to take you in even with maybe a second class lower and get admission. Once you can have admission that is non-conditional, then you can submit that to Chevening and they can consider you for the scholarship based on other factors. Secondly, we're going to look at the DAAD scholarships, the DAAD scholarships. The DAAD scholarships are funded by the government of Germany. That means the German Academic Exchange Service. And every year they fund thousands of students to study in Germany. As a matter of fact, according to the DAAD website, every year the German Academic Exchange Service DAAD supports well over 100,000 German and international students and researchers around the globe, making it the world's largest funding organization of its kind. Wow, that is huge. DAAD also funds different categories of things, from helping people learn German to funding master's degree students to funding PhD candidates to even funding postdocs. Those are people who already have their doctoral degrees and who are engaged in some form of research. So it's a very extensive program, and to tell you a big secret, I think you should look very closely at the DAAD scholarships. Why? Because Germany has a very wide support base for candidates who are looking to access its education. It gets even better if you're willing to learn the language. If you're willing to learn German, you'd be surprised at how many opportunities they have waiting for you. Again, just like many other scholarships, DAAD scholarships are not necessarily targeted at the best academic minds. What you need to do is find out the exact courses that you're interested in and then check on the DAAD website, their database, to see the funding options available for such courses. A quick tip around that is that you might be able to increase your chances if you find a way to relate your course to the development potential, the potential for international development, maybe in terms of making your country better or making some other place better. Those are the things that they look out for when they make these selection decisions. What does a DAAD scholarship cover? Well, it covers a stipend, which is usually 861 euros for master's candidates and 1,200 euros for doctoral candidates. It also includes a flat rate travel allowance. Many schools in Germany are already free, so you don't have to think about tuition, although in some of the cases for courses that are taught in English, you might have to pay. But again, that is why you need to look at what your scholarship conditions are, because a good number of the scholarship offers you would get with DAAD are going to cover all those bills. According to their website, DAAD scholarships also provide you with health insurance, accident and liability insurance, and a one-off stipend to help you relocate. And depending on the scholarship program, you might also be able to get additional benefits such as a one-off research allowance, family benefits, or funds for language courses. Wow, that is so exciting and generous of the German government. So I think that you really should look at applying for a DAAD scholarship. The third category we will be looking at are the Government of Ireland scholarships. It's called the International Education Scholarships, and they offer these scholarships to 60 candidates every year. So the good thing is that these are scholarships that are applicable regardless of whether you want to study for a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a PhD. Although you must note that the scholarships are valid for only 1 year. So whatever it is that you want to study, if it is going to exceed 1 year, then you should have a different source of funding. It is also quite comprehensive, covers the full cost of your tuition, and then covers a 10,000 euro stipend from the government of Ireland. I think though that there are a number of things that you should note with this. First of all, you will need to have been accepted by an Irish school in order to apply for the scholarship. So the first thing is to get admission. The second thing is that, like I said, it is valid for only 1 year. So if the course you want to study exceeds 1 year, then you need to think of other ways of getting funding for it. The third thing is that the cost of living in Ireland can be rather high. So a 10,000 euro allowance for a 1 year period might not be sufficient. You might still have to work or find other sources of funding. And the fourth thing is that, like I said, it is open to only 60 candidates every year. That's a very small number. So what that means is that it is very competitive. And for people who are watching my channel who are not Nigerians, I think I should mention that this is a scholarship that applies only to people who are not from within the European Union or the European Economic Area. So if you're basically not living in Europe, or you're from a developing country such as Nigeria, then you should be looking at this kind of scholarship. Swedish Institute Scholarships for Global Professionals. That is the next one that we're going to be looking at. And I must tell you that that is one of the really prestigious ones out there as well. As you may have guessed, it is sponsored by the government of Sweden. And yes, it comes with almost everything that you can wish for. So before we go into what the benefits are, let's quickly look at what it's all about. Their website describes it this way. Do you have ambition to become a leader within your field of expertise, contributing to a global sustainable development? Then you might want to read more. Global Professionals is a highly sought after, fully funded international scholarship program for master's level studies in Sweden. So this is the great thing about it. First of all, while they prefer people who have second class upper in their bachelor's degrees or from their bachelor's degree studies, in reality it's not limited to 2-1. You can apply even with a 2-2, that's second class lower division. Number 2, one of the really important things with this scholarship is that you need to have work experience. It is mandatory. So you must be able to prove that you have work experience. You must be able to provide a reference that will show that you have work experience and that can testify to the quality of your work. You would also need to provide, I think, an academic reference as well. So what that tells you is that for this particular scholarship, the quality of person that you can show yourself to be is very, very important. So this scholarship is valid for a master's degree in Sweden. It can be a 1-year master's or a 2-year master's. Let us look at what the benefits are. Number 1, it covers the cost of tuition in the university that you are looking at. Number 2, it covers health insurance, accident insurance. Number 3, it also covers a stipend, about $1,200 every single month. I'm sure you will agree with me that that is fantastic. You must, of course, note that the cost of living in Sweden can be very high, so that's a factor to put in mind. But even then, $1,200 per month is not bad at all. Another thing it covers is the cost of your travel. So there is a one-time travel allowance that is given to you. If you're from a country like Nigeria, that's going to be SCK 15,000, but if you're from some other countries, it's going to be 10,000. So generally, the countries that are closer to Sweden will have 10,000, but for countries like Nigeria, it is 15,000. That's just a one-time payment to cover the cost of your travel. Apart from that, you get to be part of a network which is known as the SI Network for Future Global Leaders. It's a platform to help you grow professionally and build a network while in Sweden. Similar to that, by the time you're done with the program, you also get to become a part of the alumni. And I'm sure you will agree with me that being a part of such alumni can be very helpful, because you'd be relating with many people who are well positioned in their different countries. Now, it is important to note what the scholarship doesn't cover. It doesn't cover the cost of relocating your family. So if you want to bring other people along with you, the scholarship is not going to cover that cost. The scholarship doesn't cover the cost of your application for admission to university admissions. So the way that thing works is this. You're going to first have to apply for admission through their portal, which is known as university admissions. And when you get selected, then you can be a valid candidate for a scholarship, but you must first apply for admission. So that application cost, it costs something around like $100, between $90 and $100. That's the dollar equivalent. So that cost is not going to be borne by Swedish Institute. You have to bear that. But I think it is a fair investment for a possible scholarship. Please bear in mind that this is not open all year round. There are specific times of the year that this offer is available. So you might want to work towards such times and apply within the designated period.